Here we have Zach Munroe. He's a 15-year FX industry pro. Now, what does FX mean? That's foreign exchange. And he's worked with firms like Western Union, Associated Foreign Exchange, now called Corpay. He's won awards at FIRMA, now called OFX, at the branch for 2 years in a row, back to back. Outstanding Leadership Award in Canada, US, and UK as a director in that area. And companies of all sizes, he enjoys providing value to them, and he's working currently with xe.com, and he does corporate and enterprise solutions. And with that, over to you, Zach.
So first, I'd like to thank, obviously, Bernie, you, and the Connect Ottawa business people for giving me the opportunity to speak and to share my 15 years of insight into the FX market. My goal is just, I'm hoping everyone can take some value to use in either their own business or maybe somebody else's along the way. We all know how networking works, so passing on information is always key. So just thank you to everyone for being here. Before I get started, I wanted to share the purpose of this presentation. So the purpose is to just share a general overview of foreign exchange and how it relates to your business without getting too deep into the subject. This is meant to be informative and hopefully easy to digest. If anyone does want to go a little bit deeper, we can always kind of circle the wagons after during the Q&A, or we can always chat later on. But I'll be moving on to the agenda now. So just give me a sec here. Okay, so the agenda, here's today's agenda, and I'll do my best to keep this on track and with the allotted time frame of 15 to 20 minutes, leaving the time for Q&A. So where we're going to start is, what is foreign exchange? So Bernie, you did a fantastic job of covering that, but let me delve a little bit deeper into that. So what is foreign exchange, or what most in the industry refer to as FX? So it's commonly called FX. And no, that's not visual effects. This is foreign exchange effects. FX in its most simple form is just converting one currency to another. So an example is converting Canadian to US dollars. The FX market is the largest market in the world and is one of the last unregulated markets, with trillions of dollars going in and out of institutions every single day. For me, that's a number I frankly cannot compute. So that's a big number. It also speaks to the sheer volume of money that is in circulation today, most of which has been printed, I believe, around 80% in the United States in the last 2 years. Consumers or people, they enter the market typically for small transactions, like converting Canadian to US dollars for cross-border travel, or to send payments for a mortgage for that condo in Florida they visit in the winter. Think snowbirds. Corporations, on the other hand, enter the market to buy products. Hold on a second. Oh, sorry, I just skipped ahead here accidentally. Sorry. So corporates, on the other hand, enter the market to buy products and services internationally. So they convert their Canadian to US and send payments to get products into Canada to generate sales and revenue. Most small to medium-sized companies buy currency on spot for sending payments. Buying spot is exactly what you think it is. It's buying a foreign currency right now at the posted rate or on the spot. A smaller portion of companies will hedge or buy forward. A forward is locking today's rate for a future date, like 6 months, 12 months, or 18 months. Sorry, I keep skipping ahead accidentally here. Anyways, 12 months when the contract is due. We'll talk a little bit more about hedging in a bit. So next slide. I don't know why it keeps skipping ahead. So how most organizations approach foreign exchange. Unfortunately, most don't have an FX strategy. Most don't think about the impact the FX market has on their bottom line. Does anybody remember March 2020 when the pandemic hit? There were quite a few companies that went out of business simply because they didn't have an FX strategy. For example, imagine pricing your product with a thin margin in February 2020 with a 90-day payment term. Fast forward a few months, and the pandemic triggers a black swan event, causing the market to crash 25%. Now, all of a sudden, when you go to pay that bill 90 days later, the cost is 25% higher, and you've already sold the products. All of your revenue for that year wiped out. Some companies didn't have reserves, unfortunately, to stay alive and ended up bankrupt. If some of these companies had a hedging strategy in place, they would have been okay or even ahead versus bankrupt. So why does this happen to folks? Well, 98% of businesses use the bank, and banks don't tend to give any strategic advice unless you're a company that makes a material impact to their bottom line. So think big companies like Coke or Pepsi. The bank will roll out the red carpet for them, but for the rest of the 90% of businesses, you're on your own. And unfortunately, most businesses, they just don't understand the impact that FX has on their business. So what most don't know. I'm going to give you a little bit of insight here into what most businesses don't know and what can potentially really help them with their foreign exchange. So MSBs, or money service businesses, these are businesses that exist solely and specialize in foreign exchange and helping companies understand the market in terms of business impact. This is what XE does. Money service businesses, or MSBs, will not only help companies come up with a great market strategy, but typically beat the bank by about 2% on average. It doesn't seem like much, what's 2%? But look at it in terms of annual volumes. If a business sends 2 million US to China every year, paying 3% with their bank to convert, that's a price tag of $60,000. An MSB can help businesses save 66% of that, and you have someone by your side to keep your business operating its cash flow and margins optimally. So I keep referring to this thing called hedging, and it's something that you use to protect your bottom line. Hedging, in its simplest statement, is a strategy implemented by any business with international dealings in an attempt to mitigate the impact of exchange rate movement on the cost of their business. It might sound a little bit complicated. That's why I didn't want to get too much into this, but I'll just delve a little bit deeper into it just so you get a little bit of an understanding. So hedging is sometimes referred to as risk management, and it's really just an attempt to mitigate the impact of volatility in the FX market on a business's bottom line. So the goal of hedging is to create a more predictable outcome to a company's profit. The more exposed a company is to the FX market, the more there's a need to protect against it. Example, company that relies heavily on foreign products, but also has tight margins. Think of like the clothing industry. Companies like this, they can't ignore hedging. So why hedge? What are the benefits of it? Well, the biggest benefit of it, obviously, is to protect your profit margins. Some businesses like retail clothing, I don't mean to pick on retail clothing, but it just keeps popping up. Some retail clothing operate on very thin margins. So having a corporate risk strategy is a must. Imagine operating on less than 3% margin. The FX market can easily wipe that gain out in one day. Other non-tangible benefits are competitive advantage. This is one that a lot of people don't consider, but if your competitor in the clothing industry isn't hedging and you are, you can keep your price the same despite an increase in the market, while he or she may have to either raise their price or take a big loss. Last piece is it offers peace of mind. You don't have to sit up at night hoping the market cooperates with your last order from China. Price is set, it's in the books, and you can look forward to selling more of your products and services. You can focus on your business. So what is the future of money service businesses? Where is everything heading? The FX market and offering for MSBs to organizations is evolving like any other business. Everything, is going to be digital, online, AI one day. So in an attempt to keep up with trends, MSBs are heading in a direction where they're now designing or have already designed a software integration with a business's accounting software to make vendor payments, realize gains and losses, and have automatic journal entries all in one place with the click of a button. This is where the industry is going. And here is an example of what XE is doing to keep up with that. So as you know, I work with xe.com. Here's what their API integration looks like. This is just a brief overview, and I'm not going to go too deep into this, but XE has partnered with Microsoft. We're the only company to partner with Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations, and we've embedded our service into Microsoft. We offer a unique solution to Dynamics users where users can do the following with the click of one button inside their own accounting software. So this is what I like to call automagic. So with the click of one button, you can make mass payments to all your vendors, reconcile all of your gains and losses, and have all the journal entries made automatically. No manual processing. Everything is done instantly. Everything done inside your system with one click. It literally saves hundreds of working hours every month, and it eliminates manual processing errors. At the moment, it's a race between competitors to offer these solutions. The future of foreign exchange for money service businesses is offering a service that fully integrates with a customer's accounting software. So that brings me to the end of my presentation. And I hope it was informative. And I just wanted to kind of give an informative overview and just kind of a brief insight into the foreign exchange market. And I'll just open up the floor at this time to take questions, and hopefully everyone has something good to ask, and I will do my best to answer.